ありがとう。
March 12th, we were told to go to Kawamata. So the first place I went to, actually I went to Okuma to check on my friends because I was worried about my friends. Then after Okuma we came back down Route 6 and went to Kawamata. No food, that was a big problem. We hadn't eaten since lunchtime the day before, apart from we had a small breakfast. So we were starving and we went to 7-Eleven, but there was no food. So then we went back to the evacuation shelter in Kawamata. And we stayed in Kawamata 2 nights. And then it's complicated actually. We took a friend to the airport and then I went to Chiba with Philip. And then eventually I ended up in Saitama, in Kisai, and I spent, how long in Kisai? I can't remember, 3 years or so, 4 years. The first help we came across was when we were arriving in Kawamata. There were people, I guess town hall workers and volunteers, who were directing us and telling us where to go. And then in the shelter, people took our names. And they were, if I remember correctly, they were giving out soup, but I couldn't drink it because I couldn't eat it because I can't eat fish. So a couple of old ladies gave me some oranges actually, I remember that. So I'm grateful to those old ladies. I can't remember the names. I guess we felt a little bit of relief because there were people there to help us. Towards the end of March, my mother was, I don't want to talk about it actually. So I went back to see my mother for a couple of weeks, then I came back. So I went straight to Kisai. So my first impression was it was very different to Futaba because it was in Saitama. But in Kisai, a lot of people helped us and made us feel welcome. At Kisai Koko, a lot of volunteers, including some of the students and teachers from Kisai Chugako, cleaned the evacuation shelter because it was a building that hadn't been used for a few years. So that was all done before I got there. So I don't actually know who did that, but I know some people spent a lot of time cleaning, and there were people delivering food, I remember. And we had a lot of supplies in the gym that I guess people had donated. So that was very useful. So I was grateful for that. I think initially, at first, it was quite traumatic for everybody because we'd gone from a very small school in Futaba to this big school with 6 or 7 classes in each grade. And in Futaba we had about 23, 24 kids in each class, and in Kisai it was closer to 40. So the first thing that was overwhelming for everyone, I think, was the size of the place and the number of people there and the size of the classes. But the principal at Kisai Chu did his best to make the Futaba kids and the teachers feel welcome. And the Kisai teachers seemed to look out for the Futaba kids. When I first arrived in Kisai, they'd got me and Mr. Matsumoto a desk, so they'd put our desks at the end. And there was a welcome message on it, which was very nice to them, from them. And I remember Mrs. Tanaka, the secretary, brought me a cup of coffee and said, welcome to Keysai. So they tried to make us welcome. So I was very grateful to Mrs. Tanaka, actually. And she always cared about the Futaba kids. And several of the teachers came up to me and said, are you okay? So I'm very grateful for that, because the people are thinking about us. So I'd like to say thank you to the teachers at Keysai for being nice to me. Yeah. I was always very happy in Futaba, and I'd still like to live in Futaba. I always wanted to build a house by the sea, and I still kind of have that dream. Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know now. I was always happy working for Futaba. I like the people in Futaba. I like the kids, the people at the Board of Education, and that's not changed really. So, although the school's a lot smaller now, it's still got the ethos. It still feels like Futaba School, and a lot of the things we had in Futaba we've still got here, and we've still got that community spirit. I love the community spirit in Futaba. So we still have that, and the Board of Education tried to keep that going, I think. I was always going to stay in Japan, yeah. Well, I think there were a lot of people that were helping us behind the scenes that we didn't know. We didn't know who. For example, we'd get something, but we didn't usually know where it had come from. And because especially in the beginning, it was quite traumatic, so you were just thinking about getting through every day. So I guess we weren't, and we were worried about radiation, Fukushima Daiichi, obviously. So we weren't really thinking that much about the people that were helping us. But as time progresses, you kind of think, actually, there were quite a lot of people who were helping us. So I'm very grateful to them, and I'd like to say thank you to them.
ありがとう。